Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of Scion of the Dark House. This is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Gothic horror podcast. I've made sure to get the lines and veils of all of my players, and the podcast does go through various distressing subject matter, such as body horror, mutilation, torture, child endangerment, and a variety of other things. If there is at any point something that crosses a line for you, please take a break. Your support is important to us, but so is your mental health. So, speaking of disturbing things, last episode, the party went to St. Hypatia's, the hospital at which Percy's mother works, to investigate a disturbance that she had requested their help with. Finding that this was the result of several patients who were previously employed in the Illuminated Way, something that they have dealt with in the past, had transformed into strange flying heads and had left the hospital in quite a state. Additionally, it seems the main doctor, Dr. Argenta, was taking a day off, and so she took the opportunity to report that she had been doing her own investigation into the papers that Arthur had previously given them while they were at the family home. After finding many more like it, as well as a suspicious one about refurbishing the basement that apparently nobody goes into, the party launched an investigation. Lark, Rerek, and Percy going into the basement and finding the crematory having a large undead presence inside of it, as well as breaking into the office and finding the blueprint for the hospital, which apparently the basement was much larger than what everybody had previously thought. Arthur snuck into Dr. Argenta's house to find him rustling through papers, distracted him by setting a fire in his living room, and found many suspicious bills and payments to a variety of criminal organizations, confirming that there was something fishy going on. Afterwards, they went into the basement and found the other half of the basement filled with torture devices and beds, confirming that Dr. Argenta was taking people off of the streets and off of the hands of very rich families and doing horrible experiments on them, managing to rescue one and also finding actual documentation of his thought process from the beginning of his career as a doctor, descending into madness and torture fantasies for all to see, taking both Ethel Drintal, who they had found had gone missing or was given away earlier in a note in a safe from Madame Drintal at Fairy Godmother's, and the book, taking it upstairs. Percy's mother informed people of the ethics violations and sent the guards to arrest Dr. Argenta, which they successfully did, but not without a massive amount of casualties, as it seems his true self finally revealed itself. And we stopped with the group standing over the 10 dead bodies of the guards, Percy doing funeral rites over them and casting gentle repose to prevent them from coming back as various undead creatures, and having a rather solemn moment. And we return to that very moment as the guards are now far away, and we wait for the grave diggers to come and collect the bodies. So what would you like to do now?
Arthur needs a drink. As he always does.
Yeah, Percy will happily join him in that. Drink to forget. And then Percy's probably going to want to spend the night at his family's house. Maybe try to reconnect some old bonds with them.
You can probably update them about the house too.
Yeah. If they want to hear about it.
Right.
Yeah. Lark's like, we should probably check in with your sister to see how Madame Drindhal's been doing since she got out of the hospital.
should probably be at the house sometime tonight. I'm planning on going there to spend the night. I'm sure you would all. I mean, do we have room to support all of us, or just me for the night?
They do have a guest bedroom, but it's most likely someone will have to sleep on the couch scenario, or someone will have to share a room. There's
I'll
enough
relay that.
space, but there's not necessarily enough beds.
I was gonna say one of us is like a 2 feet tall fairy, but we have a giant cat too. So it's like,
yeah, Arthur does not share rooms.
So I'm sure you could welcome to say if you wished. If not, the down to Falcon is a short walk away.
I can sleep standing.
I guess
fact.
I'll go for a room at the Down Falcon and enjoy my peace and quiet.
Right. I guess we'll wait just however long it takes for the Gravediggers Guild to show up and cart the bodies away, and then we'll head out.
It's probably another 5 minutes. They are coming, but slowly, since they have a lot of carts. They were just told there was a lot of bodies that needed to be gotten. They load up all of the bodies very gently, reverently, covering them with sheets. And they go to work cleaning up the blood and taking the bodies away to bury them, and possibly reunite them with their families so that they can get a headstone.
Wonderful. Just one last little prayer, and then it's time to get drunk.
Have all the guards left?
All of the guards have left, mostly because they needed to escort the very dangerous Dr. Argenta away.
No one's investigating his house at the moment.
No.
We're here alone.
Let's
okay, Arthur,
place.
you deserve a treat.
And
Can
then
break
can I
back
burn
into
it
his
after?
house? No. Stop burning things down for the love of the fates.
Okay.
You could go in with him and see if there's anything sparkly with magic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Why don't we all go in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
God.
take a peek. You
Great.
can have
Why don't
whatever
we just
goodies you
let's
find,
all take the gold?
Arthur.
I'm not after gold. I'm after, like, I don't know, scrolls, whatever.
I mean, he was a doctor, so, well, sort of. He was sort of
He
a doctor.
was a doctor.
He might have
At one point, you could have called him a doctor.
Yeah.
He might
that
have
point is not now.
That spell that made everything quiet or whatever. What was that spell again?
Mordenkainen's private sanctum. Entering the house, there is not a Mordenkainen's private sanctum. So
would he have to be like a wizard or a sorcerer to be able to cast that one?
He could have had somebody cast it for him.
Yeah, that makes sense. He paid a lot of people to do his dirty work. Well,
okay.
I'm just after a few gold pieces. That's all I'm looking for. So, I mean, maybe the office?
It seems that he doesn't. I'm just going to say that because you have basically all the time in the world at this point. I'm not going to make you roll investigation checks. You can really thoroughly just look through everything. He doesn't seem to keep a lot of money in his home.
Lame.
He does have some expensive whiskeys and other sort of expensive spirits in very fancy bottles.
I will take the whiskey.
You just crack open this really expensive looking whiskey and just start pouring it out.
I'm satisfied.
Yeah. I will say you probably find around 100 gold pieces, but the most valuable things are probably various books that he has, and pieces of furniture, paintings, and alcohol.
Well, I'm definitely going to consume the alcohol in copious quantities.
Can Percy look for two things? Percy's curious if Argenta is at all tied to the heads, like the demonic or stuff, and also if it's just like a powerful or like a very fancy aspect of Saint Hypatia that I could like take.
I did look earlier to see if he was related to Mr. Herbert or the Illuminated Way
Yeah, I forgot
at all
that
earlier.
shit,
Yeah.
Cool. So then
there
just
was
the Saint
nothing after
Hypatia stuff. Give me some good religious aspects.
He definitely has some devotional materials. Definitely has scriptures.
I take them.
Do look very expensive. And he probably does. They aren't the most expensive, but he probably has a few little statuettes of Saint Hypatia on various places that could be like a household shrine. Like there's one above the fireplace in the living room. There's probably one in his office on his desk. Things like that. They don't look the most expensive, but you could probably just take them. They're about
if it has
yay
Saint
high.
Hypatia on it, I'm taking it. He doesn't deserve her.
Would he have like potions and stuff like that?
He does not seem to have any potions.
That's weird.
Yeah, he didn't seem to bring home any of his work that was not required to be brought home. So this was mostly I don't want them to know what the hospital was spending money on. So that's what all of those documents were. But yeah, he doesn't seem to have any sort of magical items in his home. The most magical item that you could probably find, assuming you cast Detect Magic and maybe Identify as rituals, would probably be a pair of glasses meant for speed reading.
I want that. TBH.
So since you probably cast Identify, it does not require attunement. When you wear it, you can read twice as fast as normal. But if you keep them on for more than 2 hours, you gain disadvantage on skill checks as your brain, as you get a bit woozy and dizzy from consuming so much. But other than that, there's nothing magical. There's nothing else magical.
Put that in with the bird collar and the skipping stone.
Right.
You can probably just put in the inventory glasses of speed reading.
Okay.
And I literally just made that up on the spot.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
I dig it.
Well, I have to draw him with glasses now. That's cool. But only for like an hour and 59 minutes.
All right.
Well, I'm happy with the booze. So.
Retire somewhere and have some very fancy alcohol.
Who said I was sharing?
Are you not?
Well, I can't drink. I'm 15.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting you're only like 15.
Every now and then you must painfully remind us of that fact.
Are we correct?
But also, I mature faster than normal people, apparently. Right?
I don't.
A little faster.
I'm not ethically equipped to handle that question, Arthur. So,
you know those
what
cute little dragon people in anime? That's what I am.
Oh my god. The 1,000-year-old dragon that somehow looks like a 5th grader.
Lol,
yes.
They're called Manikete, and they're from
except you're a 5th
Scion.
grader that looks like a 10,000-year-old dragon.
Oh my god.
But like the reverse of that, because I look like a 7 foot tall. Okay. Let's keep going.
Okay.
So do you stay in the house to drink the alcohol,
probably
or do you
shouldn't. There's probably gonna be like guards
go somewhere
that come
else?
Just gonna drink it on the go.
Just striding down the street, fisting very expensive bottles of whiskey at like noon. Just
I'll say we can head to my family's house and rest there.
I wonder what's for dinner. I'm famished.
Yeah, I have this descending spell as well, so I'm gonna use it to sending my mother, and say we're heading to the family home. Meet you there when you can.
And we're hungry.
Oh, guess what? I can fly there.
Wait,
can
what?
fly?
You can fly? When did you gain a fly speed?
I think I can fly there now. Let me
You
check.
take the
Did
fly
you?
spell.
Oh, do you have the fly spell?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Sure. Rerek flies ahead of her. A dragon appears in front of my house.
I can
before
fly
do.
around with little Lark now. Yay.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Lark's just gonna be like, come on, come higher, come high. 10 minutes winds up and he's like, oops. fine then."
No.
Oops.
Mhm.
I think that's
and
the
this
one
is
I
what you
picked
get
for
for trying
my,
to show off.
Okay. Where is it? There it is. 3rd level.
So you're just flying to
fly
the
there?
house then?
No, I
Whee!
just wanted to tell everyone that I can fly.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
Congratulations. And I can drink.
The most extreme form of travel, Rerek, so I highly recommend trying it sometimes. I'll give you some pointers.
Okay.
Well,
Uncharacteristically helpful of you, Lark.
there has to be some sort of backhandedness to this.
Have I ever
All
been
right.
backhanded?
Every
I
word
mean, I can
Never.
also make one of you. I can also make one of you fly, not just me.
make a Lark fly.
Right.
All right, so we can go to my house unless anyone else wants to go anywhere else.
Nah, house is fine. I need food.
How about your other
Wonderful.
house?
The big one, we can go back there later.
It's a
I'm
bit
not
of a walk.
anxious to. Yeah, I'm not anxious to travel back there right now.
We're still covered in soot. So.
Oh yeah, you
um,
probably are. Unless Lark has spent time prestidigitating everybody clean.
No, he prestidigitated himself clean.
Yeah.
So there's a sparkly clean fairy followed by
Or
3 very
sooty-
soot-covered people.
Oh, I have that skill too. Maybe I should do it
Also,
on myself.
just for flavor, it's people soot. It's person soot.
Oh yeah, it is people soot.
Percy wants to take a shower. So yeah, I'll roll up to my house and knock on the door.
Yep, well, your father is definitely home. And he welcomes you in. And just kind of, just
We'll take
don't
off
get
our
it on
shoes
the
before
tiger
we get
skin
on the
rug.
carpet.
Just don't get it on the tiger skin rug. And
It's been a day at the hospital.
I just realized I've never been to your house not dirty and drunk.
oh my goodness.
Well, I'm gonna take a shower. So,
that'll be fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Sorry about it, Papa Kruetzwald. Papa Krutz.
Just don't sit on anything before we all shower. My father will have a heart attack. So yeah, I'll go clean off and plop back down and wait for Mama to get home and whatnot. Help Dad in the kitchen if he's cooking.
Yeah. It's probably around.
Your easel.
Oh dear.
It's
Again.
the bloodlust coming after you.
It's fine.
I saw that just like out of the corner of my vision. I was like, shit.
Your easel.
Does it have a piece of drywall on it?
Keep that mage hand.
Yeah, we
check.
mean mage hand in real life. Yeah, he is probably at least figuring out what to do for dinner. He probably just has like a sandwich for lunch. Nothing too big. So yeah. So if you have any requests on what you would like for dinner, he is certainly open.
Potatoes.
Something perhaps vegan for Rerek.
Right, I remembered that.
I said potatoes. I wasn't even specific. Like the vegetarian stuff.
Potatoes. Mm-hmm.
Well, we definitely have potatoes. I think we still have some lettuce and things.
With skin.
Did you say with
Can we just
skin?
not? No, we're just no. Ignore the fairy. Don't talk to the fairy.
What skin?
Canonically, Lark likes eating skin off things before he eats anything else.
Of course he does.
Wonderful.
That
We'll
is
make
just
it
weird.
a salad for
Oh.
Rerek.
And then I just go, oh, I forgot. I can also do prestidigitation. So let's clean it. I'll clean myself up and the both of y'all,
Cool.
I guess. Since
All right.
Lark won't do it.
Was wait for mom to get home, I guess, and hopefully my sister Bella as well.
Yeah, it is relatively late. Your father has definitely started making salad with various different vegetables, as well as preparing potatoes. He does end up preparing a little bit of steak, but he prepares it off to the side, doesn't let it touch anything, and is like, that's for anyone who wants it. And your mother and your sister get home within about 5 minutes of each other. And it seems like everything is coming to a nice, lovely family dinner with some extra guests sitting around.
Yeah.
Arthur just is still holding on to the bottle of whiskey, like he hasn't let it go. He's just been quietly like drinking this whole time.
Just expensive whiskey, super expensive whiskey.
Yeah, this bottle's not gonna last the night.
I would be surprised if it did.
Yeah.
So the family all, of course, sits down, and well, we I don't know if you heard, we had a interesting day at the hospital. I'm not sure if anybody wants to talk about it. I know I definitely don't, but
Is
Tell him about how the place blowed up.
are the repairs underway? Are the patients secured?
the patients have been secured. It seems there wasn't much extra damage done to the patients. It was mostly just the walls and the furniture. We have started sweeping and scrubbing what is left of the walls clean.
I imagine there'll be a lot of that in the coming days.
Yeah, there certainly will. We are discussing trying to raise money to have the wall in the basement knocked down and to have that cleaned, and for general repairs that need to be done.
Sounds boring.
It is very boring. I will drink to that. And she holds up like a little glass of wine as you're like halfway through, just absolutely sloshed.
Unfortunately, by the time we arrived at Sebastian's place of residence, he'd already managed to kill several guards.
So I managed to hear through the grapevine. Yeah, I think he is definitely not going to be able to wiggle out of this one.
He ain't gonna be wiggling much. He's gonna lose his head in that cell.
Lark's just looking a little confused, and he goes, "So grapevines give blood and talk on this plane? How fascinating."
No, it is a figure of speech, meaning I heard it from various people.
Oh.
Yeah. And also they have wine.
Yes,
Well,
you certainly do.
I'm thankful that you called for us.
I am definitely thankful I made that decision as well. I just hope that as he goes down, it seems there's a lot of other people involved. And hopefully Darkmoor doesn't go down with him.
He had a lot of high up people in his pocket with him, didn't he?
Yes.
Did you figure out who that poor girl was that we found in the basement?
Yes. It was Ethel Drintal. We did manage to confirm that.
Yeah, I hope her bitch sister gets stricken with the pox.
On that note,
We're just gonna look over towards Percy's sister and be like, how is she doing since she's gotten out of the hospital?
Well, she certainly still has a rash of bad luck. And yeah, she hasn't been too happy lately. There hasn't been a day that she hasn't tripped down the stairs, but she hasn't fallen through another window.
May her hair turn into snakes and bite her nose off.
Right.
Right
Are
then.
we alerting her to her sister's reappearance?
I don't know. I feel like that's.
Are you kidding me? She should be arrested. She's the one who did the thing.
When Arthur drunkenly says that, Lark's just gonna shoot him a look, because we haven't told anybody else what we found, right?
You have not told anyone else the content of that letter.
Or are we not talking about that?
Okay, well now you have to talk about it.
Talk about what? What are we doing? Is there steak somewhere? I feel like you're supposed to be steak.
Percy hands you a slice of the steak. And he holds it. What are you saying, Arthur?
Arthur, dear, just eat the steak.
I haven't handed him the steak yet.
Lark's gonna mage hand a different
The steak is conditional.
Like, with mage hand, just shove it in Arthur's mouth.
Okay, you're in on this. What are you hiding?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Delicious.
What do you two know about the Drintle sisters?
You
You're terrible.
found
Do I know anything
something.
about-
You went in her safe.
What's Arthur's sister's name again?
Bella.
Bella. I thought we were friends. Sending me at the creek like that. I'm so wounded.
What?
Your brother's gonna sit here and judge me.
I
Okay.
already do.
So that makes this what? Wednesday?
Yeah, Lark's just gonna be
Yeah,
like,
Arthur,
"Ow,
yeah.
ow, I'm getting bit by a cat. Lark,
Oh dear.
I'm getting bit by a cat.
The family cat bites Lark.
When did we have a cat?
The dad's like, I bought an exotic one.
Oh, have you? I think Jasmine would like to talk to her friend.
Oh my god.
My goodness.
What do you know, Lark?
When we left that little present from my family in Madame Drindhal's safe that your sister so graciously showed us, we stumbled across a letter of sorts. It didn't seem pertinent in the moment, so we just didn't tell you.
And the letter said?
Well, it did mention Dr. Argenta, now that I think about it, and it was her mother admonishing her for sending her sister away.
So,
Yeah.
so the fairy godmother sent her sister to Sebastian.
Presumably, darling. Do keep up.
It's fucked up.
Right? I mean, well.
I mean, yet again, I'm astounded by the wickedness in the heart of you mortals sometimes. It's quite admirable.
Not
Selling
me.
I was waiting for
out
that
for
last part.
financial gain.
Okay. So, Mother, Madame Gentle apparently sold her sister to Argenta. What do we do about that?
I knew the web went very far, but I didn't think it would go that far. And then you see your sister kind of slump over and goes, great, I'm out of a job now.
Why don't you take over that job?
Right? Oh my god.
Do you think
great
that she
idea.
doesn't have contingency plans in case shit happens?
Like her hair turning into snakes.
Oh, we don't do things that literal where I'm from. Getting
Ugh.
pushed out of a window, though, was a little much for even us.
Fine.
I'm not even going to question it. I'm just going to start at this point looking for a new job.
Bella, you're a very talented seamstress. I'm sure you can find another job.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty dresses.
I worked very hard to get into the front window of the shop. Still haven't had my name on anything, but
Maybe
whatever.
you could make Lark a new shirt. He's been missing one forever.
Lark's
That's
just gonna make his
the
pecs
niche
bounce
market
for a
here.
minute. He's like, I really need a shirt.
What are you doing? Get out of the frame.
Sibling
God.
fight.
Sibling fight.
I guess I could if you really want me to. I'm sure I have plenty of fabric in my room.
Make it see-through if you have to.
Oh dear
Or
God, here we go again.
I don't think I have anything sheer, but I'll check.
Lacy.
How risque.
So Lark's just
Wonderful.
gonna matter-of-factly look towards Arthur and bat his eyes a little bit, and he's gonna be like, I mean, you could leave it up to mortal justice, or you could just let things continue on as they are.
Yeah, but that's all. That's just gonna end. She's just gonna have some bruises and stuff.
She needs to go to jail, but maybe even worse.
I mean, it could escalate past that, is what I'm saying.
Ugh,
We're
but
beyond
is
just
it-
tripping people downstairs and throwing them out windows when we really put our minds to it.
Well, your folk tend to have a bit of a damage radius when push comes to shove, and I'd rather not all of the fairy godmother's employees like my sister being caught in the crossfire.
Mark's gonna look towards Bella and be like, has anyone else other than Madame Drindle run into any particular bad luck there yet?
I mean, aside from her yelling at, brandishing her cane, threatening to put their hands through their sewing machines, physically throwing objects in their general vicinity, and other
Should have
such
gone to
things.
jail a
No.
long time ago.
Right, like you said, she's incorrigible bitch.
I see this as an absolute win. She can't torment her employees anymore. Her business goes up in flames. She's in jail. I like that scenario. We can send word to the guards in the morning.
I feel, though, that if we're going to do that, I should probably fetch that thing I left in her safe first. Mustn't let that fall into the wrong hands, you should understand.
Never know what could come in handy.
It's a beacon.
Did someone say
all right.
bacon?
I'll leave that to you then.
I don't
Lark.
eat bacon.
But there is one last thing I would like to discuss with all of you, and that's the house.
I thought you were gonna say how good the steak is.
Steak is very good, thank you, Father. I only bring it up because I'm so concerned for all of our safety I still can't dismiss the visions that Rerek and I have had about all of you. But the trek into the house has gone, well, a mixed bag, I guess. Ups and downs. We've made progress. There is a significant amount of undead and other presences that we have started to clear out. There's even some of our family's old stable hands that are still working for us, apparently. They're undead, but they're very friendly. And there's
creepy as hell.
My goodness.
a tribe of frog people as well.
Frog people.
Yes, they seem to have a sort of tyrannical government dedicated to their queen, Queen Croak, who's claiming the lands of our family estate in her name, which we will likely have to deal with at some point, but for the time being, we have a tentative alliance with them.
Tell them about the vampire infestation.
There's a significant vampire infestation. We've met several vampires.
Oh my, by the saints. Oh my. I knew that place was trouble.
The orchard now grows grapes that are full of blood. And we have yet to even make it to the house. There's a meteor that struck the hedge maze and founded a civilization of mold creatures.
Don't worry, they're all dead.
They were killed.
And the fire started that I have no idea where.
Mixed feelings on that one. I still think they were not entirely a threat. But what's done is done. And the church has been cleared. The graveyard is another story. But the church is cleared, and so is the carriage house. All cleared.
All right. Certainly made some interesting discoveries.
Yep.
Not sure what to think about that.
If there's no other business for us to tend to, Darkmoor will likely be returning shortly to begin our investigation of the actual house.
Yeah, but we should take wine with us this time.
Maybe getting drunk in my family's cursed estate is not the smartest of plans.
Well, I get drunk in your family's not cursed estate, so...
You sure do.
Yeah.
Because I wanted a progress update with all of you. I know you all still don't support my decision to accept the house, but given that it is our family's, legacy, I thought you might be curious.
Legacy is the legend.
It is quite a local legend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure what to make of all this. I thought it would just be ghosts and things, not frog people and mold people.
The frog people were quite a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
But that is the state of things, and we are going to venture into the house next time.
My feelings about that place still stand, but we're glad that you made it back alive. So
I can't help but feel that something about those visions about our family is tied to the house itself, and we won't be safe until whatever is in there is dealt with.
So it seems. Yeah. Possibly. There were rumors of dark magic and all kinds of other nasty things in that place, so I'm not surprised. And yet I still am.
Yep. And who wouldn't want to drink after finding that?
Well, I don't really have any other major updates. So we can just try to enjoy the rest of the night, and well, I'll be staying here tonight. If my friends, at least some of them, could stay. I believe Arthur wants to have them down Falcon, but perhaps Lark or Rerek could take the guest room.
I'm not walking anywhere anymore.
Yeah, maybe the couch would be a better idea.
Percy, you mean we're
It's-
not going to cuddle? I'm so.
We never have, and we never will. I fear I would crush you in my sleep.
You cuddle with Jasmine. She's nice and warm.
She tries to eat me.
Well, I just fed her. You should be fine for a couple hours.
Well, maybe if you're sleeping, she'll succeed this time.
Fingers crossed. I'm just kidding. Mr. Flappy Wings. Fine.
The wings that never flap.
Yeah.
Well, that was certainly an eventful evening.
I'll drink to that.
You've said that a few
Wait.
times.
I'll eat
already
this
did.
potato to that.
Yeah, maybe we should. And she just reaches over and lowers the bottle away from your mouth. Maybe we should set that down for a little while.
This is good whiskey.
Well,
I'm
just
sure it
think about
is.
how you'll get to have more of it later.
Tomorrow might not get here, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to go to bed.
Yeah. I think it's time for all of us to get rest. Yeah.
Which way to the couch?
I will get you there. And your mother gets up and does very gently lead Arthur over to the couch.
I can do it.
All right.
You got it.
And
I'm
everybody
just gonna pass out and cuddle up
Yeah.
with Jasmine, who was half of her legs are just hanging off the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably does also try and lay on top of you to prevent you from getting up while you're still drunk, because she can sense that and uh-oh, this isn't good.
She takes good care of me.
And everybody does begin to head off to bed.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes. While you guys are sleeping, would
Here we go
everybody
again.
like to make a perception check?
Or asleep.
Should I be rolling this with
Ooh, I rolled really
disadvantage
good.
because I'm drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
I love
very good.
self-checking.
Percy got a 26.
Mark got a 16 plus 3, so that's a 19.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a 20.
Oh. Ooh. So everyone but Arthur, as you are settling
Super
down to sleep, in the wee hours of the morning, you are all woken up by movement in the hallway. It is trying to be stealthy, but doesn't seem to.
Does it wake up Jasmine?
It might. Roll a
Do you want me to
perception
roll
check
for
for
her?
her. Yes, not with disadvantage because she's not drunk.
Do you want keen smell or just straight perception?
Actually, let's do straight perception.
Okay.
Does Jasmine also have keen hearing?
No, just smell.
Okay. So it would
but
be a
that's
regular roll.
21. So
Yeah, so it would wake Jasmine.
okay.
The movement seems to move from Bella's room to the bathroom, and you hear the door shut.
Is my sister just taking a piss? Is that what we're waking up for?
You listen out, and you do start to hear her vomiting.
For a second, I was going to say pissing, and I was like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to. Okay.
Is she pregnant?
I guess Percy's going to stand outside of the door and wait for her to open it.
Yeah, she does.
I'm sorry. Can I actually do a keen smell to see if Bella smells different?
Sure.
If that's her, anyway. Okay, roll. Okay, that's a 17.
Yeah, she smells like Bella. She does eventually stop vomiting and open the door and kind of, and she does kind of like lean against the door a little bit, half out of surprise and half out of she's probably going to stumble back to her room rather than walk, and goes, I wasn't expecting you to be there. I'm fine.
What is that? No, what was that? Are you okay?
I think so.
We're just already doing medicine checks on her.
All right, make me a medicine check.
Lark hasn't entered the hallway, but he's definitely eavesdropping at this point.
And I'm doing it with him.
I got a 22.
Door.
So you feel her temperature has risen a tiny bit. Okay. Not any like concerning fever level, but it has definitely risen. She is a bit sweaty. And as you're like checking her, you do move your hand down to her stomach and you feel something move in her.
What is that? Did you feel that?
Feel what?
There's something moving in your stomach.
Why would there be something moving in my stomach?
I don't know. Look, come here, and I'm just gonna like take her. I guess we can sit her in the bathroom. And I'm gonna. What can I do to search her? What spells do I have? I still have Detect Evil and Good prepared. Can I do
that? You can if you would like.
I do it. Do I get any pops on there?
What does it do again?
Like aberrations, celestial fiend, undead. There it is. Yeah. Aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, undead.
Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet that have been magically consecrated or desecrated. So I'm going to say that nothing shows up.
Cool. Don't have Detect Magic prepared. Dang it.
I have it. You want me to go out there and do it?
Rerek and Lark are just outside.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do it.
Oh, yeah. So like Percy like does this little green magic flare. Like, no, I felt something there. You're running a bit of a fever. I definitely felt something move. Does anything strange happen to you?
No. I mean, I've thrown up a couple of times in the last week, but I should be fine.
Well, do you know the cause of that?
No idea.
I want to wake Rerek up. No, I don't know if he's awake.
Right.
I'm awake.
Uh,
And I open the door and I just come out. What up?
You walk into the door frame and she goes, "Oh my God, why is everybody up?"
Well, you're not. You're pretty loud.
Because you're not very stealthy.
Rerek, I think something.
Lark's there too, and he's just like, ooh.
The gang's all here, and a cat.
While we're at it, Jasmine, is gonna pad up quietly and just like, wow.
I'm worried about you. I've had visions specifically about you, okay, and like having to do like surgeries on you, and it's been. I'm just worried. Rerek, can you use detect magic on her? See if anything pops up. I feel like I could feel something move in her stomach.
Sure.
So you cast detect magic. Let me check it real quick.
I'm doing it.
She has a lot of transmutation magic.
Like where?
Just all over.
Can that be
Also, there's a
identified?
bit of necromancy.
In her tummy?
Does identify work on a person?
Just objects.
I think it can identify a specific spell if a specific spell was used on a person, but it can't identify creatures or just like general effects.
Oh, so since it's a transmutation type, I don't think it's gonna work.
Well, it depends on if you think it is a
choose one
transmutation
object.
spell. Oh, object. I thought
Yep,
it did
if it-
people too,
yeah.
of like you can identify the spell that is affecting the creature.
Nope, it doesn't look like it's identify objects or magic imbued objects.
Oh,
Gotcha. But you did see she's covered in transmutation and a little bit of necromancy. Was the necromancy like concentrated around her stomach, or is it just on her?
it was just kind of all over. She has an aura that has a mixture of transmutation and necromancy.
And assuming you relay that to us, Rerek. Yeah. Does Rerek tell us that? Rerek?
You okay there, Rerek?
Sorry, what was that? I'm looking through spells.
Oh.
What was that?
You tell us that what you found?
Yes, I will relay that to y'all. It is transmutation magic that has been done to her or something. So, but I cannot identify it since it's
You
a
have
person.
transmutation and necromancy on you? Do you have any idea what that would be?
How would that have happened?
I don't know. You haven't had any sort of strange encounters recently.
No, not a single one.
Okay.
Jasmine kind of like sees how concerned or senses that Bella is like agitated, so she just sort of pads over and like starts rubbing the side of her face against her ankle.
That's cute. That's cute.
Thank you. But I'm sure I'm fine.
Okay. Just if anything else happens, if it gets worse at all, you tell Mom and tell me.
And at that point, you do hear her stomach gurgling. Oh, as she puts her hand on her side.
But what's happening?
Didn't happen before.
What is it?
I think something. Ow. I don't know.
Jazz doesn't like what's happening. She sort of like makes a sort of hissing sound and like starts to back up a little bit.
Can I use what's that one spell that I can do? Augury?
Augury.
Augury?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna
Will that
get
help her?
the bad results.
Yeah, isn't that on
you
like a
would-
decision you're gonna
Yes,
make?
you can say, hey, we're gonna do this action vibe check. That's what augury is.
Yeah.
So if
Oh
you
my
want to do
gosh, really?
something like we want to cut her open, or we want to try and give her medicine,
We're not just cutting my sister open.
just some sort of action of like, this is what we want to do, and then
it's an action. Okay, never mind.
What is this hurting? What?
That's kind of too scary to do. It's too scary to do.
I think something moved.
We need to tell Mom. She's a much better doctor than I am.
I'm sure it'll go away.
No, something moved in your stomach. We are
You don't need to
dismissing
worry,
that.
Mom. She has a lot of stuff to worry about already.
You're her daughter. If she can't worry about you, what can she worry about?
I'm sure I'm fine.
Well, I'm telling her.
Fine.
Jasmine's gonna leave the room, like
That's when you
come
tell
down
Mom
and
on
wake me
you.
up.
And so she does get up and she just starts walking towards her room, significantly slower than she was.
So first thing in the morning, we are telling Mom about this.
Whatever. I just want to go back to bed at this point. I'll be fine in the morning.
Okay.
And she does manage at that point to go into her room, and she shuts her door.
Yeah. All right. I just like turn back to my boys and the cat. Thanks.
Jasmine just kind of like mules at you.
Yeah. Okay. I guess good night. And I'll head back to my room as well.
Same.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis the cat.
The cat does same.
Yeah.
I guess we're all sleeping.
You know what? No, actually, Jazz is gonna lay down outside of Bella's bedroom door and just kind of like chill there.
Cool.
After Rerek climbs in bed, Lark's gonna be like, just give me a moment. I'll be right back. Because I'm assuming they're sharing the guest room. And he's just gonna it's dark outside still, right?
Yes.
He's gonna open the window and just fly out real quick. So he can land on the roof. And normally he does so in order to refresh or maintain his warlock powers. He, similar to our divine casters, needs to pray to whatever or contact whatever gives him his powers. And just like them, he doesn't always get messages back or whatever, but he's just going to be so he's going to float up into the dim night sky and just in Sylvan just whisper, I don't know what's going on, my queen, but developments are happening. As he goes through the rituals to renew his power, kind of just being a tattletale to her about what's been going on lately. And just be like, there's something wrong with one of them. She's overwhelmed with transmutation and necromancy. Just thought you should know. And he'll fly back down to bed after he does that.
Well, you do actually get a message. Growing out of the roof very briefly is a flower that is very similar to the flowers that you have been spreading around various parts of Govia that open up.
Ooh.
And from the center of the flower, you hear a very familiar voice. It seems my suspicions have been confirmed. Their blood is cursed. Keep an eye on that one. I have had my ear to the ground. Thankfully, you have helped with that immensely. It seems there were some dark goings on, some of which have not fully culminated. This may be one of those things fully culminating. Keep an eye.
Lark's just gonna because he's not used to her actually responding when he renews his powers. He's like, of course, my queen. You should also know that there was an incursion of veg pygmies that arrived on the estate too, and I don't know where they're from, but someone else may know something about that family.
Ah, then that must mean that the family has been in contact with dark forces. The presence of veg pygmies can only mean the presence of Zugtami, the queen of mushrooms and decay. Beware, she is incredibly dangerous and incredibly persuasive.
As you wish, my queen.
My time grows short for our connection. Be very careful. I cannot afford to lose any of my faithful servants. And at that point, the flower wilts and falls back down to the roof and withers until there is literally nothing left.
When he's by himself, Lark's just gonna tap his chin for a minute and be like, how much of this do I bother telling Percy? Before, because he still hasn't even told him almost anything about what he's doing so far.
Right, yeah.
So he says that in Sylvan, of course, before flying back down through the window to get the rest of his sleep for the night.
But it's still that awkward thing when you hear people speak other languages, but they say your name, like, blah, 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 Percy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems the rest of the night goes by entirely uneventfully, and you all wake up in the morning, and Bella seems perfectly fine, like she said she would.
I just stare at her, doing this.
And she kind of gives you some looks back of I'm fine.
We're doing this.
I'm sorry, I missed that. She's woken up.
Yes, she has woken up.
Yeah. So Jazz is gonna heartily disagree with the fact that she's fine, and
yeah.
There we go. Little sound effect.
So yeah, I walk down the stairs and I just I wait for her to tell our mom, and if she doesn't, I'm gonna.
She very clearly is not going to tell Mom about this. She walks by you and gives you a look as she walks into the kitchen to start preparing herself breakfast.
So Mom, Bella has something she might want to tell you. I think probably has to do with the visions I've been having about the house. Don't you, Bella?
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I'm perfectly
Don't
fine.
lie. She's not fine.
I
At
look
this point,
fine.
Arthur wakes up. He's awake. He's heard the commotion, makes his way to the kitchen.
A sibling
bottle
squabble.
of whiskey still in hand. What in the name of all that is holy is going on?
Nothing is going on.
We are not pretending that. If that didn't happen last night, you are not okay, and we're not glossing over this. Okay, Mom, last night, I heard her get up in the middle of the night, throwing up, so I was concerned. I go see, I have medical training, just see if she's a fever or something. She does not just have a fever. There was something moving around inside of her stomach. She's covered head to toe in transmutation and necromancy. And then later on, she felt like something was moving. You said you felt like something was moving, and it was hurting you.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did. I will cast Zone of Truth right now.
Don't you dare.
I will do it. Don't you make me.
And she
Arthur
kind of
just,
gives you a look.
Interjects. I'm too hungover for this. And he just finishes the last little bit of whiskey that's left in the bottle.
There's only a sip.
Tosses it. Yeah.
Lark's just gonna be like, so how much do you know about what your family was up to before they fell from grace and got cursed? Literally to the entire family, to his mom, his dad, his sister, Percy.
Way to uproot the conversation, Lark.
And of course, with the exception of Percy, who kind of knows just due to contact with the various things, the rest of them are just like, cursed? I'm sorry, can someone explain this to me? Cursed. We're cursed.
Your ancestral home is swarmed with undead and various sundry nasties.
Yes, but you can summon those things and not be cursed. There are necromancers that do it all the time.
I'm sorry. I'm confused as to how this comes as a surprise to you, and also wondering if anyone's going to fry me some eggs.
We'll do that later. And your mother does go over and puts her hand on Bella's forehead, and it's like, well, she isn't running a fever now. See, I'm fine.
If
not
they're
fine.
cursed, can I check if I can detect the same kind of magic on the rest of the family? Well,
you did remember that
one of
Percy
them,
tried to
the mom or
detect it
something.
on Bella, and he didn't find anything.
No, necromancy and transmutation.
Sure. You can certainly cast detect magic.
I was gonna see if I can detect the same kind of magic on one of them.
None of the other family members have this.
In response to Bella, Arthur just, nobody who vomits that much in a night is fine. I can still smell it.
You were downstairs.
Jasmine, she has a pretty good sense of smell. We're connected. It's the long story.
I'm a dragon person. I can smell it.
Lark's just gonna look kind of exasperated for him, and he's gonna be like, all right. I got a rather cryptic message from some of my family back home. And does the name Zubtmoy mean anything to you people?
No.
What?
Zubtmoy? I asked them about the infestation of the veg pygmies, and apparently they're her servants. She's a queen of fungus and mold.
Well, that sounds rather nasty.
I don't know a lot about our family history, but I'm assuming we're not worshippers or enemies of the Queen of Mold. It seems like a very specific thing for us to have gotten into.
I don't see what this has to do with anything at the moment. Like I said, I am fine. At that moment, you do hear her stomach gurgle, and she, oh, shit.
I go, there it is. Look at that. She is not fine.
Please don't throw up again. I don't think I could handle it.
Oh, just, and at that point she screams, and there is a burst of energy. The table is pushed up against the wall, the windows rattle, you feel something change in the air. And at the same time, everybody moves away from her as she is shrouded in black clouds. And you see tentacles waving back and forth in this cloud. And at that moment, the world seems to fade away and turn into a very familiar sight for Percy. The river of blood, the white coral-like trees, the giant moon with hundreds of mouths and eyes, the various winged devil creatures banging drums and blowing horns. And then everything snaps back to normal and Bella just collapses on the floor unconscious. And that's where we're going to end episode 20. So
What the hell?
Everybody, we will see you next week for the exciting conclusion of what the hell is happening at the Kruetzwalds.